Well, dear learners, I welcome you all in this session on branch accounts part 4. So far, we have discussed about the maintenance of accounts, recording of business transaction in the dependent branch accounts and in the independent branch accounts. So when we talk about maintenance of accounts, recording of business transactions in the books of the independent branches, then there are two ways of recording the balances. The first one is detailed incorporation of branch balance in the books of the head office, and the second one is abridged incorporation of branch balance in the books of the head office. So the detailed incorporations we have just studied, we have just discussed how the detailed incorporation takes place in the books of the head office when the informations have been provided by the independent branch. So as far as the abridged incorporation is concerned, so let's see that incorporation of branch balances in the head office books can also be effected with the help of a shortcut method known as abridged incorporation. In this method, we prepare a memorandum branch trading and profit and loss account and pass a journal entry only for the net profit or net loss. So here the journal entries which we have passed in case of detailed incorporation, see, in case of detailed incorporation we made the journal entries for the transactions which need to be recorded in the debit side of trading account, and the second journal entry was the transactions which need to be recorded in the credit side of trading account. So for those items the journal entry was passed. Then the journal entries for the difference of debit and credit side of trading account, that is what we call gross profit. So third entry was pertaining to the gross profit, and the fourth journal entry was pertaining to the expenses which need to be recorded in the profit and loss account, and then the next journal entry was for the assets, and the last journal entry was for the liabilities. So here the journal entries for the assets and liabilities will remain the same, but as far as the journal entries for the items supposed to be recorded in the debit side of trading account, credit side of trading account, and the expenses which needs to be recorded in the profit and loss account, and for the amount of gross profits. So for them only a single journal entry will be prepared. It means the single journal entry only for net profit or net loss shown by the profit and loss account will be passed. So let's see how it will be done in the books of the head office. So from the following, prepare memorandum branch trading and profit and loss account, pass the necessary journal entries to incorporate the Kanpur branch balances and prepare Kanpur branch account in the books of the head office. So here the informations have been provided. Stock on 1st January 2018, it means the amount of opening stock is 12,000. Then the furniture is given 4,800. Then the debtors is given 11,200. Then the goods received from head office 32,000 is given. Salaries, rent and expenses given 4,400. Cash in hand given 3,600. Head office it is given 22,000 balance. Then the amount of sales is given 45,600. Sundry creditors, that is the liabilities, it is given 400. So total of debit side of trial balance is 68,000. Total of credit side of trial balance is 68,000. So stock on 31st December 2018 was rupees 9,200. So here this is the amount of closing stock. So pass the necessary journal entries to incorporate Kanpur branch balance in the head office book and prepare the Kanpur branch account in the books of the head office. So here the journal entry will remain the same, but for the items supposed to be recorded in the debit side and in the credit side of trading account, and the items which need to be recorded in the debit and credit side of profit and loss account, for those items only a single journal entry for the amount of net profit or for the amount of net loss will be recorded in the books of the head office, and the entry for assets and liabilities will remain the same. So in the books of the head office, memorandum Kanpur branch trading profit and loss account for the year ending 31st December 2018. So in the debit side of opening stock, in the debit side of trading account, we have the opening stock. So it is given in the question 12,000 rupees. Goods received from the head office, so it is also given in the question 32,000. Then in the credit side, by sales, we have been provided with the information of sales 45,600. By closing stock, so this information has been provided outside the trial balance, that is in adjustment 9,200. So total is 54,800. So out of 54,800, if we subtract the total of 12,000 and 32,000, so we will arrive at the gross profit 10,800. So 54,800 total, 54,800. So this gross profit will be brought down in profit and loss account 10,800. To salaries, rent and expenses. So it is given in the question that these are the expenses which pertains to the profit and loss account. So 4,400. So out of 10,800, if we will subtract the expenses of 4,400, we will arrive at the balancing figure, that is 6,400 is the net profit. So total of debit side of profit and loss account 10,800, total of credit side of profit and loss account 10,800. So in the last questions when we had discussed, so this 4,400 was the journal entries for the expenses need to be recorded in the debit side of profit and loss account, and this was the entry for the amount of net profit, again it is to be recorded in the debit side of profit and loss account. So here, as I have made it very clear to my learners that in case of abridged incorporation, only a single entry pertaining to the net profit or net loss is recorded. So here in these questions we have a net profit of rupees 6,400. So only for this net profit the journal entry will be prepared, and the journal entry would be Kanpur branch account debit to general profit and loss account 6,400, 6,400. Then the journal entry for assets. So this journal entry will remain the same. Kanpur branch closing stock 9,200 given in the question in the adjustment. Kanpur branch furniture is given in trial balance 4,800. Kanpur branch debtors provided in trial balance 11,200. Kanpur branch cash provided in the debit side of trial balance 3,600. So total of all the four assets comes to 28,800. Then this is the journal entry for the liabilities. So this amount of rupees 4,000 in the form of creditors has been provided in the credit side of trial balance. So for the assets, as I have already discussed, that all the assets have a debit balance, so therefore the assets are debited and Kanpur branch account has been credited, and all the liabilities have a credit balance, so therefore the creditors, that is liabilities account has been credited and Kanpur branch account has been debited by rupees 400. So this is how the journal entries are passed in the books of the head office when the balances of branch accounts are incorporated in abridged form by the head office. Now the Kanpur branch, so the balance of the Kanpur branch is given in the question, that is provided in the trial balance 22,000. So the net profit also we have calculated 6,400. So this two creditor liabilities 400 given in the trial balance, so total is 28,800. Now come to the credit side. By closing stock 9,200 is provided in the adjustments. By furniture 4,800 it is also provided in the question. By debtors 11,200. So this amount of rupees 11,200. This amount of rupees 11,200 is also provided in the form of debtors in the debit side of trial balance, and the amount of rupees 3,600 in the form of cash has also been provided by the trial balance. So total of these four assets comes to rupees 28,800. So the total of the asset side 28,800, total of the liability side is also 28,800. Now the closing entries in branch accounts. So yes, well friends, at the end of the accounting period the branch books have also to be closed. So for this purpose the branch can pass the usual closing entry for transferring all revenue item to its trading account and profit and loss account and ascertaining its net profit or net loss. The amount of net profit or net loss should be transferred to the head office account by passing the following journal entry. So in case of profit, so the journal entry would be profit and loss account debit to head office, and in case of net loss the entry would be reverse. It means here the head office account has been credited in case of net profit. So in case of net loss head office account will be debited and the profit and loss account will be credited here in case of net loss. So after the above entry for transferring the net profit or net loss to the head office account has been passed, the balance in the head office account will be equal to the branch net assets, that is assets minus liabilities. So the net assets would be equal to the assets minus liabilities. We will arrive at the net assets. Let's see how it has been calculated. The accounts pertaining to the assets and liabilities can also be closed if required by transferring their balances to the head office account. For this purpose the following two journal entry will be passed in the branch account. So see, for assets and liabilities the two journal entries which need to be recorded in the branch books. So first one is for assets, head office account debit to assets. So here just try to understand the logic why the assets account has been credited. So very simple. Now these are the assets for the head office, not for the branch. So branch is simply transferring the assets from branch to the head office. So here the journal entries are being prepared in the books of the branch. So when the assets are being transferred by the branch, so it means assets are going out. So as per the rationale of the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So here the assets are going out from the branch, therefore the assets account has been credited, and head office is a personal account. So when we will transfer the assets to the head office, so head office is the receiver. So as per the rationale of the personal account, debit the receiver and credit the giver. So therefore head office is the receiver, therefore the account of head office has been debited. Then the next one is for transfer of liabilities. So here these are not the liabilities for the branch. These are the liabilities or the assets for the head office. So therefore, keeping in view that the assets and liabilities pertains to the head office, not to the branch. So therefore, the branch is only transferring the amount of assets and liabilities from the branch to the head office, and the entries are being passed in the books of the branch account, not in the books of the head office. So here the liabilities. So you know that the liabilities have a credit balance. Liabilities have a credit balance. But here why the liabilities has been debited? Because this liability does not pertains to the branch. It pertains to the head office. So when the liabilities are being minimized, because until or unless we make the payment of the liabilities, it will stand by us. But when we are transferring the liabilities from our accounts to the head office, so it means we are minimizing the balance, and liabilities can be minimized only when the liabilities accounts has been debited. It's very simple. To head office, so again head office is the personal account. So here head office is the receiver. So because here the head office is the receiver. So here for transferring the liabilities, we will make the journal entries liabilities account debit to head office. Then now look at the illustration and see how does a branch close its book. So we will see the procedure of closing the books in the books of the head office. A Delhi trader has independent branch at Patna. Its trial balance for the year ending 31st December 2018 is given below. Pass the journal entries to close the books of Patna branch and prepare its head office account. So the trial balance is given. Purchases we have been provided 25,600. Stock, that is the opening stock, is provided 16,400. Wages has been provided 13,100. Factory expenses 6,800. Salaries 8,000 have been provided. Rents 3,400 provided. Sundry expenses 4,000 provided. Goods received from head office 14,400 provided. Debtors 11,000 provided. Cash 1,500 provided. So discount 300 provided. Purchase returns 600 provided. So total it is 1,04,200. Now the additional informations have also been provided. The first one is the accounts of branch. Fixed assets were maintained in head office, which shows machinery of rupees 50,000, furniture of rupees 2,000. So depreciation is to be charged at the rate of 10% on machinery and 15% on furniture. Rupees 300 are due for salaries. Then 400 is a remittance of rupees 8,000 made by branch on December 29, 2018 was received by head office on January 3, 2019. So this is the cash in transit. So here remittance of 8,000 made by branch on December 19, 2018 was received by head office. Closing stock at branch was 28,600. So these are the additional informations which have been provided with the informations provided in the trial balance. So books of Patna branch. So let's see what sort of journal entries are prepared in the books of the Patna branch. So first one is for depreciation. The first journal entry is depreciation account debit to head office. So here dear learners, keep one thing in mind, that this is the total amount of depreciation, that is 5,200. So here if you look at that, the amount of machinery is 50,000. So 10% depreciation on machinery. So 10% of 50,000, 5,000, and rate of depreciation on furniture is 15%. So amount of furniture is 2,000. So 15% of 2,000 is 300, and 10% of 50,000 is 500. So total amount of depreciation is 5,300. So the entry would be depreciation account debit to head office 5,300. So the journal entry is very simple because the depreciation is an expense, and as per the rationale of the nominal account we will debit the depreciation, debit all expenses and losses. Then the next one is a remittance of rupees 8,000 made by branch on December 19, 2018 was received by head office on January 3, 2019. It means at the date of 31st December 2018, which is the date for closing the accounts, that is the last day of the year on which we generally close the account. So up to that date the remittance was not received by the head office. So therefore this is in transit. So for anything which is in transit, whether it is the asset in the form of cash or in the form of goods, so this is the asset, and all the assets have the debit balance. So therefore cash in transit 8,000 rupees has been debited to head office 8,000 rupees. Then the next one is rupees 300 are due for salaries. So this is the outstanding expenses, and for outstanding expenses the entries expenses account debit to outstanding. So expenses are the salaries, so the entry would be salaries account debit to outstanding salaries 300. It's very simple. Then the next one is closing stock at branch was rupees 28,700. So for this asset closing stock 28,700. So the journal entry is very simple. Closing stock at branch was 28,700. Now come to the this is the amount of net profit 2,200. So for the amount of net profit the journal entry would be profit and loss account debit to head office, and if it would have been a loss then the journal entry would have been reversed, right? Then for asset the debtors account are given, it is 11,000, the cash account is provided 1,500, cash in transit provided 8,000, to closing stock is provided 28,700. So total of these four items is 49,200. Then for liabilities the entry will be just reverse to this entry. So here the assets account have been debited, so here the liabilities accounts will be debited. So creditors account debit 5,400, salaries outstanding which is provided in the adjustment. So I told to my learners many times that anything which is provided in adjustment, that is outside the trial balance, so for such items it will have its impact minimum at two places. So salaries outstanding 300, to head office 5,700. Now we can prepare the head office account. So it's very simple. Buy balance brought down 28,000. So this balance has been provided in the trial balance. Let's check it. 28,000. Yes, head office balance 28,000. Then depreciations we have already calculated 5,300. Cash in transit it is mentioned in the adjustment 8,000. By profit and loss we have calculated, it is 2,200. 2,200. Yes. Because the depreciation amount was 5,300 and the salaries amount was it was 300, so totally it is 5,600. And then the total is 43,500. So two balance carried down at the end of the year 43,500. So here we have brought down, buy balance brought down 43,500, liabilities. So by creditors, it is mentioned in the question 5400. Salaries outstanding, it is mentioned 300. Debtors given in the question 11,000. Cash given in the question 1,500. Cash in transit given in the question 8,000. To closing stock given in the question 28,700. Total is 49,200. 49,200. So here trading and profit and loss account. So very simple. By sales 69,900 given in the trial balance. Closing stock is given in the trial balance 28,700. So amount is 98,600. Here opening stock is given in the question 16,400. Purchases 25,600 is mentioned. Let's check. 25,600, yes, purchases, and purchases return is also given. So purchase minus purchase return. So net purchases would be 25,000. Net purchase is 25,000. Goods returned, goods from head office mentioned 14,400. Wages mentioned in the trial balance 13,100. Factory expenses mentioned 6,800. So this is the amount of gross profit 22,900. So total is 98,600. 98,600. It is brought down. Gross profit 22,900. Discount it is given in the question 300. Discount received, we can check it. Discount received, yes, discount received credit side 300. Total is 23,200. Here two salaries given in the question 8,000. Outstanding salaries mentioned in the adjustment. So total is 8,300. Rent given in the question 3,400. Depreciations we have calculated 5,300. Sundry expenses given in the questions 4,000. So this is the balancing figure 2,200 in the form of net profits. So out of 23,200, if we subtract the total of the debit side up to this 1, 2, 3, 4, this total of 4 items, the balancing figure will be 2,200 in the form of net profit. So total is 23,200. Now the closing entries for transfer of revenue items have been omitted. The balance in the head office accounts after adjustment entries and transfer of net profit of rupees 43,500. This is equal to the net assets at Patna branch given below. So debtor it is given, cash given, cash in transit given, closing stock given. Total is 49,200. Creditors are given, outstanding salaries are given in adjustment. Total is 5,700. So if we subtract the amount of 5,700, that is the amount of liability, from the total amount of assets, that is 49,200, it comes to 43,500. And the net profit is also mentioned. The balance in head office accounts after adjustment entries and after transferring net profit is 43,200. So this was all about this session. Balance 43,500, it is given in the questions 43,500. So this was all about this session on hire purchase, branch account. So now all the sessions on branch accounts have been finished. So next we will start with the consignment accounts. So this was all from my side. So I wish you a very good luck for bearing with me. Now the session is over. Thank you very much. हाँ जी राजेश जी।